So, ladies and gentlemen, it is essentially the holiday season. I mean, Thanksgiving is over, so it is time to get into winter, and that includes a new winter update for Skyblock. This expands upon the previous North Star event, as well as adds a bunch of new items and features, so let's get right into it. My name is Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News. I think this one's gonna be pretty good. So, heading over to the Jerry Island, you can see the tree right there. You actually head inside this building. This is Einery. Most people know who this is, but he actually has some new items this time around. Notably, the Refrigerate Enchanted Book, which grants a percentage of the mana used to cast abilities as defense for 10 seconds, up to 1,000 defense. This is actually not too bad, I think. Going up to level 5, I think it's 25% of the mana used. This could actually be really useful for bosses that don't necessarily deal true damage, so I really like this enchantment. It costs 1 volcanic rock and 10 north stars. The magic top hat requires 10 volcanic rocks and 500 north stars. It allows you to upgrade your snowman pets to mythic rarity, and also there are winter fragments here, which have their own crafting recipes, which we'll get into in a minute. These also cost a volcanic rock and 10 north stars. When you first load into Jerry's workshop though, you may notice this new NPC standing by the big tree. His name is Gennaro. If you click on him, he actually has a bunch of new gift milestones. Now you might be asking, well, how do I get these? Do I just give people gifts? Well, that doesn't exactly seem to be the case. As you can see here, while holding a gift in your hand, you'll see a little gift icon next to the names of other players. Green means you haven't given them a gift yet this year, and red means you've already gifted that player. Unique players gifted, 1. That means that I've gifted 1 unique player a gift. This seems to be how this event works. You have to give a unique gift to a total of 600 players, but the rewards here aren't bad at all. Not only are there some unique items here, like the Gift of Learning for example, but there's also things like Einery's Red Hoodie, North Stars, Ice Essence, the expensive toy, and the Gift of Giving emblem, which I think people are really going to want to go for. In the time that I was actually making this video, the admins decided to drop the patch notes for this, which they're calling 0.19.8. This is pretty interesting, and I'm not going to go through everything here because I've already talked about a lot, so let's just get started with the important stuff. Jerry's workshop will be open through the end of December, which makes sense. This is something I do every December. This also allows you to more easily get done with the North Star event from last year. They also added the 2023 Advent Calendar, which is pretty cool. This allows you to get some special gifts, which is really nice, so make sure you collect those. They also talk about Gennaro here. They talk about the items that he gives you access to. For example, another unique thing that he apparently gives you is a way to obtain Einery's Abophone Contact, which is pretty cool. There's also a unique memento item, which I figure is the hoodie, and obviously a lot of gifts. Gennaro will vanish from the face of Skyblock in early 2024, so don't forget to claim your rewards. There's also new bottles of Gyre, which is pretty interesting. As you can see, here's a refined bottle of Gyre, and you can drink it to boost your intelligence by 300 for 60 minutes. This isn't bad. This is actually a pretty good thing. Also, you're able to drink 5 of them, and they give you a permanent 1 intelligence each, which is pretty cool. The old ones are now legacy items. This is pretty interesting. I didn't notice that they would actually make them legacy items. Once maxed, the new bottle of Gyre evolves and can grant you Skyblock XP as well, and you can only obtain that buff 5 times. It takes a total of 300 hours to max it out, and all you have to do is keep it in your inventory, and it doesn't reset anymore if you place it in a chest, which is really, really nice. They also made Oro increments the timer of the bottle by a full hour every time you complete his puzzle, which, makes sense. The old bottles of Gyre are now removed from Sherry's shop, and you can obtain the new ones from gifts directly, which is pretty cool. There's also the new boss fight, which is at the top of the Battle of Jerry Mountain, which will grant you a volcanic rock if the pile was intact. You can now use the volcanic rock in Einery's shop to purchase new items. Obviously, we talked about these things, but the winter fragments give you an ability to upgrade the Yeti sword, glacial scythe, and ice spray wand. I think that the glacial scythe might be an interesting upgrade. I think the ice spray might also not be bad. I think the Yeti sword, I'm not really too hyped about that. I think people might find a use for it, but for me personally, it doesn't seem crazy. There are now also more gifts being rewarded in each gift pile during the main event. The Ice Essence shop has a new perk, allowing you to increase the odds to find a rain drake. It's now 50% more likely to be found by default, which is really cool too. And the Glacial Cave loot pool now contains new items, such as the Frozen Bait and Einery's Red Hoodie. The smallest gift and XP rewards from gifts have been removed to increase their value, which I think is really good. They also talk about the secret bingo event going on right now, which makes sense. The goals are hidden, you have to figure it out through hints, which is pretty cool. If you want to participate in that, you absolutely can. They also added a bunch of other smaller features. For example, a lot of the coming soon items are no longer coming soon, which is pretty sad. They also did some other pretty unique things, like the flaming sword is now a 1% drop from the redstone pigman, which is pretty cool. They also added a warp trap as an alias for the trapper's den, which I think people are going to be pretty happy about. And they also show you the salvaged items you have when you salvage them, which is really nice. There's also some bug improvements and fixes and things like that, but like, there's a lot here. You know how this works. You can just read this yourself. It'll be linked down below. I don't figure anything here is too major, but aside from that, I think the event itself is really good, so let's head back in game. I think Skyblock's winter event has always been pretty well received, and they continue to add more to it every year, which makes people like it, well, more and more. I think by now it's a pretty solid event that'll last for the whole month, and people are going to want to grind it out because you're going to get some pretty decent rewards from it. I think the refrigerate stuff is actually really cool, and I'm excited to see it add to Skyblock. Aside from that though, I don't think there's too much else to go over. This update is pretty sizable, and I do recommend checking it out because, well, it's a lot of stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's really about it from me. At the end of the day, my name is Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future, fellas, because I will see you then.